Hi, Jackie.
Hey, how are you, Jamie?
I'm good. I'm glad we finally got this going.
Yes.
Finally. It's not exactly live, but I wanted to introduce myself to those who are out there. I'm Jamie Lemaster. I'm with Bold Living with Jamie. I'm a Covenant Coach Academy coach, and I wanted to be sure and introduce you all to as many Covenant coaches as I could, because I know Jackie, and I know that she has something to offer you all. And so this is Miss Jackie Diggins. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us about you?
Yes, so I'm Jackie Diggins. I am a mom of 10 kids and married to an amazing husband. And I am also a covenant coach. And it's been an amazing journey with this. Have you enjoyed it too, Jamie?
I have. It's been life-changing. I told them earlier while we were trying to wait to get on live and everything was going crazy, I gave kind of a little testimonial. But yeah, I love it. So what led you to be a CCA coach? How did you get started?
So I had just come through 2 years of Bible school that God led me to do that. And I was just coming out about the time COVID hit. Well, I always enjoyed meeting with people, doing Bible studies, meeting with women one-on-one. And I remember leaving one of those meetings and saying to the Lord, how can I help them more? Because I felt like I wasn't quite getting them to where they were having the life change that they were wanting and that I, of course, desire for them.
Right.
And so when God brought the CCA or Covenant Coach Academy up to me, I had never heard of Hannah Keeley before. I was new to all that. I mean, I was a homeschool mom, tend to, just doing my thing.
You
And
had your hands full.
yes. And so anyway, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Kind of like, is this what you want me to do, God? So I hopped in on an interview with Hannah. And, you had to pay some money to get there. Well, we happened to have that money because we had been in a really tight financial spot for a while. And so anyway, just jumped in on the interview. Well, I hadn't read any of the information about it, how much it cost, what the scheduling, the time it would take. And anyway, so she's like, did you read the brochure? I'm like, no, I'm just, hopping in just to see what it's all about. So she said, well, go read the brochure. I'll save you a spot. Well, I read it and it's $15,000. And I was like, I can't do this. I'm just like, we've been in a tight spot before. I didn't want to put our family in any more of a tight spot. So I pulled the money I'd put in for the interview, pulled it out, and was like, God, I'll work at Walmart. I'll work in the school system. I'll just do Bible studies. I mean, I was like, I don't care. I don't have to do this. Well, a week and a half goes by and I'm miserable. I'm like, God, why am I feeling so lost? Why don't I feel like I have vision now? And then I watched another interview of other covenant coaches with Hannah. And I was like, I told my husband, I'm like, I have to do this. I don't, this is what God is calling me to. And so he said, go for it. And I don't know what I would have said. I think I would have gone for it anyway if he would have said no, because I knew, when we know God's calling us to something, it's like, we got to do this, at least that's the way I run in my life. So anyway, that's how I got in. And my husband had also been traveling for a year and a half, gone more than he was home. And so he had just come home mid-May. I started the training 1st of June. And that's what I did that summer was, the day at the pool with my kids, and then the evenings and stuff, whenever the training was, then would do that. And it's changed our whole lives. In
what ways?
Great
decision. What differences have you seen?
Well, so for me, it's been catapulting me to my dreams because God, I feel, had already led me through a lot of, he coached me when I was home with my kids. Like he taught me some of that. And so for me, it was more like I needed to get rid of a few limiting beliefs about money.
Mhm.
And then it's just like pushing me toward the next thing that I probably wouldn't have done, you know?
Yeah.
And it's really made a big difference because when my husband went on the road, well, we used to own a business. Okay, he had shut it down and he went into kind of a depression breakdown for a season. And so him coming back home with a home office and this corporate company that he was working for, he was like, I don't like doing this. And so I was able, through the coaching that I had learned, so it started in June. By the end of July, he started his own business again.
So were
And
you coaching him through it? Were you
I
coaching
was,
him through the
yeah,
depression?
I was coaching him
Oh
through
my goodness, the
the
timing.
fear. Yeah. Coaching him through the fear of just being willing to step out again in his own business, you know, and finding what was inside of him and not being afraid to give up the money and the benefits with the corporate job that he didn't
Mhm.
like, you
Yeah.
know. And yeah, so he was able to do that. And plus in the last year, we've bought 3 properties.
Oh my goodness. That's
Uh,
a big turnaround.
and so that also,
Congratulations.
thank you. That also was just through the coaching and the being willing to step out, even when it was kind of scary or, you know, there
Mhm.
was some fear there, but just like realizing that no, we needed to do what God was saying, you know. And so, you know, it's also made a huge difference with my kids because they used to be homeschooled. We still have 7 at home.
Mhm.
And about 5 years ago, God said, put them in school. So I did. And so it shifted our whole family. So
All the dynamic. Yeah, the entire
yeah.
dynamic. Yeah.
And so the coaching also has helped them walk through just all the changes that took place from
Yeah.
homeschool to school. Plus, when my husband was going through that dark time in his life, just helping them overcome that
Oh,
and move
wow.
forward. And so it's just
That's
made
so beautiful.
a huge difference.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that each of us, when I'm sure you've talked to other covenant coaches and they've told you their story,
Yeah.
and it seems like everyone, it's God led. I was led to do it and had this during cycle 1 when when she first started Covenant Coach Academy. I don't know what cycle you were in. I think you said, well, you were in 3.
3. Yeah.
3. Well,
Mhm.
see, I didn't join until cycle 5. But I had the same experience. It was just when I said no to rent to cycle 1, every year that I said no, I grieved. I felt so horrible. I felt like, what is going on? Why am I feeling so upset about this? And
Right.
then finally, when I said yes to hiring a coach, and then thought, okay, am I supposed to do this or was I just supposed to hire a coach? And then when I prayed and asked for guidance from him, and he showed me immediately. It's like, yeah,
Mhm.
girl, this is where you're supposed to go. It was just, the doors just started slinging open left and right for me. Just so I love the story of how you came to it right when you needed to. He
Yeah.
knew you needed to work with your husband through this.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Yeah, it's made a huge difference. And then it's made a huge, I love helping people and
mhm.
I like seeing people get free. And so it's given me tools to be able to help people through and encouraging them to invest in themselves so that they can do the next thing in life and not just stay stuck.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part for a lot of people is, when you talk about investing in yourselves, everybody's like, well, what is that supposed to mean? That they just want me to spend money or whatever. But
Yeah.
what I learned through this process is that when you invest, it's
Mhm.
about the return.
Mhm.
It's not about what you're putting into it. Anytime we invest in something, it's about what we're going to get in return.
Yeah.
And if you ask my husband even said it. We were sitting one day talking with someone, and I was sharing about having joined CCA and what I was doing. And Herb just said, "I got to stop you right there." He said, because they said it was a whole lot of money to start, and my husband's like, "It doesn't matter how much it cost." He
Right.
said, "What we've gotten out of this, and what she's gotten out of this, was priceless." And he's right. He's right.
Wow.
There is no price for coming out of depression. There's there's no price coming out of anxiety. You can't put a price tag on that freedom.
Right.
You
Yeah, that's
cannot
so cool. It's
put a,
cool that your husband said that. You know what I mean? Just
yeah,
that he
yeah.
sees the change and he sees the benefit, and
And
that,
we've both seen how it's affecting the kids. Like when they get stuck and
yeah,
they're trying to make decisions, you know, he's picking up on the techniques because I'm using them with him too.
right.
And we'll both, and that's the beauty of it, is when you start to learn how to work with your thoughts on things, and you start to learn how to help somebody come to a decision that they already hold inside of them, but they just can't quite see it.
Right.
And you learn how to ask the right questions and what to look for. And then it's like you said, when you see that breakthrough,
Mhm.
there's nothing better than that.
Yes.
Absolutely nothing.
Well, and then to see people go from that stuck spot to going toward their dreams in
Yes.
such a short time too, that it's like,
Mhm.
wow,
Yeah.
and it not only changes the person, like you and I have said, our kids and the people we're around, we start just using different language with them even, and it
Yeah.
just continues to flow and get bigger and
Yeah.
bigger,
You have a different level, or at least for me, I had a different level of understanding where people were coming from.
Mhm.
Being able, and I'm a very, very empathetic person. Um, and this even took me to a level of understanding that I didn't hold before. And
Mhm.
it gave me a higher level of empathy, I think, and a higher level of understanding, just because you can finally see the direction that people are coming from. You don't
Mhm.
hear a conversation the same way again.
Right.
And it is so beautiful to be able to help people in a way that's lasting.
Yes.
You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
we get to watch people break free of those chains, break free of those limiting beliefs. And that's huge.
Mhm.
Huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Can you share a little bit more, Jamie, on just what the coaching side, what things you broke free of?
Oh, absolutely.
Just so
Um,
people can get an idea of what that
yeah.
can
What
do.
I did, I had so much in my past. I'd caused a lot of harm in my family, just a lot of things in our past. We do a lot of things that we're not proud of.
Right.
And I carried it with me.
Mhm.
My journey was about hanging on to all the guilt, feeling guilty over everything
Right.
because of past trauma, carrying shame from past trauma,
Right.
carrying guilt from what I did as a result of having been traumatized and losing all self-worth.
Right. And we feel like we have
Yeah.
to carry it.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
and I
we're not
did.
sharing or something.
Right. I thought for sure, if God doesn't see me carrying this guilt, if he doesn't see my remorse, there's no way I can be forgiven.
Right.
So I had to carry it around me, and I had to beat myself up harder than anybody else had to beat me up, because that was part of God seeing how truly repentant I was,
Right.
how truly bad I felt about what I had done.
Right.
And it was during one of my sessions with my personal coach that I
Mhm.
was like, we were talking about things, and I'm very aware of everything and why my behaviors are the way they were, because I've been in therapy for years. It
Right.
didn't change my depression. It didn't change me from hanging on to the guilt and the shame. It
Right.
helped me recognize behavior and little tools to get through it. We say we aren't therapists, and we're not. We help people go from now to their future, where they want to go. We act as a bridge, right? Well, I
Mhm.
had never gone to a place where I could forgive myself and realize that I needed to let that go.
Right.
I mean, it's one thing to say, yeah, I'm not there anymore, and I understand why this is this way, but
Mhm.
taking 100% responsibility for my behavior and
Right.
knowing that it wasn't in alignment with what God's word says.
Mhm.
I was not I was not acting in accordance with what God wanted me to act with, because even though I was repentant, I wasn't in sin,
Mhm.
but because I was carrying the guilt, that's not who he made me to be.
Right.
That's gone. What
Mhm.
we call to remembrance, he's forgotten. He
Yeah.
doesn't call it into remembrance. And then I had to go back, and I allowed myself to forgive myself of carrying the guilt and the shame. And
Mhm.
I gave myself permission to set it free.
Right.
And I changed what I was saying to myself. I
Mm.
changed what I
Yeah.
was saying in my own thoughts, because my thoughts were where I did battle.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, the enemy was rich in there. He
Mhm.
was taking home every belt from every fight, and I was still going back in the ring and getting the crap beat out of me because I allowed it.
Yeah.
But when
Mhm.
I realized the strength that we have inside, given to us by God, and I
Mhm.
had somebody help me align that,
Right.
I was like, yeah, this is freedom, y'all. This is
Yeah.
freedom.
Just
I've got
wait.
to learn how to do this.
Mhm.
It was
Well, it's
incredible.
so cool because the couple of verses that God's given me as a coach and is throwing off the weights and sin that so easily entangle so that you can
Mhm.
run toward the high call or the crown of the high call of God, and
Oh,
also leaving the past behind so that you can run your race.
oh, that's
You know, and
beautiful.
so I've had my clients say it feels like a weight lifted, and just
Yes.
just feeling that pressure rise, because it's almost like we drape that over
The
even when you were
shame
talking.
blanket.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
like my cape in the ring. It was
yeah,
it was awful. It
yeah,
was
and that's
awful. I
what
love that.
God wants for us is to throw off those weights, be able to wave at your past and smile, like settle
Mhm.
with it, and then run your race that He marked out for you.
Yes, absolutely. This
Yeah.
has been so nice. What I wanted to do today too is I want to let everybody know that Covenant Coach Academy is, I think they're open right now for enrollment.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they'll be open until the end of September for a new enrollment.
Yeah.
And there's so much more than what Jackie and I are even telling you. Like the program you get all the training to be a Covenant life coach, and you start coaching immediately. You know, that's
Yeah.
the thing. You get all the experience before you even finish the last module. And what else do you get with it, Jackie? You get what the business plan and
Yeah, there's some business coaching like once a month that
mhm.
Hannah helps us with and guides us in, and then yeah, just all the tools we in the back office of the web page or whatever. Then there's all sorts of stuff to start your own podcast and do all the things that whatever
Yes, I
you
forgot
want
about
to
the
do,
podcast. Yes.
whatever
And
you want
there's
to
a
do.
keynote too
Yeah.
to show you how to do a keynote speech.
Yeah.
So
So
it,
yeah, just so much.
there's no and marketing tools. There's the sales and marketing intensive, which is a 2-day event at Hannah's house. We go to Hannah's house to eat, and then we are doing sales and marketing all weekend, and that was incredible. It
Yeah.
was just the most incredible experience for us this year. And I'm sure you went to that too, or
Yes.
experienced that too.
Yeah.
So you get that and so much more.
Yeah.
Y'all,
So
it's
much too with
comprehensive.
yes, with the connecting with these other, like you, Jamie, connecting
Yeah.
me with all these amazing people that love God and love people in
Mhm.
this one spot.
The community, that's something else that has just, and the people that you go through your cycle with become your family. And
Mhm.
then when you get to know everyone else, they become your family. So it's an extended community of people that they're just incredible. I've yet to meet present company included. You're such an incredible woman here. So if any of my friends are interested in talking with Jackie and setting up a time, is there anything that you want to throw in here if they sign up with CCA or if they just want to coach with you?
Yeah, if they sign up for CCA, we want to offer 6 free coaching sessions after your first 3 months of training,
Yeah.
and a 1.5-hour deep dive, which is a consult, personal consult with me, or if they choose you also, Jamie.
Right. We're both offering this, y'all.
Thing. So, and then, so that's a signing up for CCA. If they want to sign up for coaching, what were you?
If you just want to sign up for coaching, I'll offer the deep dive, and then of course free consultation so that we can see what your goals are and make sure we're a good fit.
Yeah. And I'm the same on that too, that offers. So,
but I hope everybody has learned something a little bit about each of us and gotten a glimpse into what coaching can do for you in your life and the doors it can open and the possibilities. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments on here, and Jackie and I'll come back. You can address them to her or you can address them to me. And I'm sure, can they send you a private message too, Jackie, if they need to? You can leave her a private message or message me, and I'll put a link for CCA in the comments once we post this. And if you decide that you're interested, let us know. And if you set up a time to talk with Hannah, I cannot encourage you all enough how much this program will affect your entire life. It's an incredible program.
And even if you're thinking, I just want to say, if you're not thinking business, just do it for yourself and your family and the people just around,
Yes.
in your life. I know when I went in, I wasn't super business minded or thinking that way necessarily.
I wasn't either.
I can see how God's using that for good though, because like you said earlier, it is what you invest in, it's the return you get. The amount you invest, you get that great return.
Oh, it's a huge return.
Yeah. So
absolutely. But thank you, Jackie. I love getting to talk with you and spend some time with you.
Yes, that was great. Thanks for inviting me to get on here with you, and we'll talk to you soon then.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.